Hi! I'm Sunny Munch. Welcome to the Mortis Build-a-long. This papercraft is a collaboration between Ashley and myself of Ashley's OC Mortis. If you haven't already, please go down into the description to download the template. It's free and even more fun. For this craft, you will need scissors and glue, either stick or liquid form. If you have a cutting mat and box cutter instead of scissors, that's even better. Now, this is a double-sided papercraft, so you should have 2 pages with graphics on both sides, and a page number in the bottom left corner of each side. When printing, under your printer settings, you should have the option for double-sided printing, and for this craft you should select Flip on Long Side. Printer paper is a little see-through, so you should see that the outlined shapes on the odd number page sides are in the center of the solid shapes of the other side. Although I've made this build-along video, it's also important to pay attention to the small set of instructions on the top left of page 1, as they'll tell you which lines are valley folds, inward folds, and which are mountain folds, outward folds. If that doesn't make sense, I'll explain that with this first headpiece. Starting with the head, and as well for all other pieces, I've gone ahead and cut them out, and we will be pre-folding all of the dotted lines before attaching any glue tabs together, as marked with a dot. First, tackling the snout, we'll mountain fold this dot and dashed line that runs across the eye line, so the graphic sides of this piece meet. Then, flipping to the other side, we're going to glue tabs that run along the same seam altogether. Most glue tabs attach the same length edge next to them in the template. I'll try my best to point out the ones that don't separately. We'll keep gluing seams until we have just the front face left. For the snout, I'm gluing the 2 mouthpieces and bottom glue tab all together. This will force the snout to create a pointy cone shape. It should look like this. Finally, we'll glue together the last head seams, and we'll leave this long bottom tab hanging out, as it'll be a vital attachment piece during the final assembly. For the body, this piece is simple, first pre-folding all of the valley fold glue tabs. Then, holding the piece between our fingers just like I am, I'm going to curl the piece using the heat of my fingers until it becomes a full loop. Attaching both ends of the piece, our body is made. The second most complex piece, the tail. Before folding, I'll show you how to slice the spike holes if you don't have a box cutter. First, gently fold the piece outwards so that you can still see the cut line. Then, we'll take our scissors and we'll do our best to cut right along the cut line. If you miss the mark like I did, or if you're unconfident in your cuts, that's okay, as I'll explain in the next step. Before putting the tail together, be sure to insert/attach your spikes. If you were unable to cut the spike holes, I've designed those spikes in such a way that they are still seamlessly attachable. If you don't have spike holes cut like I'm showing here, I'll show that after these first 2 spikes. So you're going to poke the tip of the spike through the slice, then press the glue tab sticky side towards the tailpiece. This last spike being applied without a spike hole, simply fold out the glue tabs so the color sides face up. And after applying glue to the tab's dot side, you may press them down onto the gradiated side of the tail. The colors should near perfectly match the section of the tail they should be on. Once all 3 spikes are in, we'll simply glue and attach along the seam lines of this tail. These wave edge side pieces should guide the piece into its wavy shape without needing to fold or bend any of its sides. The final shape should look like this. The legs are simple. Similar to the body, we're going to curl this long rectangular piece first, just to help when attaching the sides together. Then attaching all the adjacent glue tabs to the white pentagonal shape. The foot is hollow, so feel free to reach in there to help clamp some of the tabs into place. Then we'll do the exact same procedure for the other side. Finally, we'll take the ears from page 1 and move on to the next. The third most complex piece, the hair. Just like the tail, we'll cut holes for and insert the ears before putting this piece together. The bottom/unseen side is the one with the white square in the middle. For scissor users, fold the edge of the color outward that runs through the ear hole and cut. If you aren't confident in your middle of the piece cuts, again feel free to attach the ears on top with the color sides of the glue tabs facing up. For inserting the ear, make sure the shorter glue tab is closer to the center of the piece, as it'll help follow along and guide the curvature of the hair. Once the ears are in, we're going to curl the front pieces of the hair downward away from the ears, and gluing along the hair seams that follow an X shape across the top of the head. This back hair piece we'll leave open, as attaching it to the head will be easier that way. Lastly, we'll save these side pieces for the end. Moving on to the most complex part of the puzzle, the skirt. Most of the folds are valley folds, and these triangle pieces are more support than glue tabs, so there's no need to fold those triangle pieces really. Once we have all the folds, I'll show you how to put together one of the spikes. We'll first apply glue to all of the trapezoid-shaped tabs, and we're going to connect these two black pieces along their longest edge. I'm putting my finger inside to help press and shape the cone of this spike. Then we'll attach the neighboring tab, going all around the skirt, making these same spikes. As we go along and finish each leg of spikes, we'll attach the bottom tabs to the bottom star-shaped piece of the skirt. All of the triangle pieces should overlap each other, as they'll be used for the base when we attach the skirt top piece and body on. In the end, it should look like this. These two little arms do take a little delicate movement. First, we'll connect the seams of the hand, the black part, and then likewise for the shoulder piece. Now, this bigger last tab sticking out will fold over to the hollow side and connect to its glue tab. If it's hard for you to get your finger inside and press the glue tab securely, I would recommend using the blade of your scissors or maybe a pencil/chopstick to insert into the arm to give you something to push against, helping the glue stick. Arm number 1 done, and we'll do it again for number 2. Finally, we'll take this skirt piece and use it during our final assembly. Now that we have all the pieces, let's put them together. I will say all the pieces you could freestyle, but putting everything together is difficult if not done in the order shown in this video. We'll start by constructing the main body, made up of the skirt, tail, and torso. We'll attach the tail underside glue tab to the base of the skirt opening. Excuse my little tail repair here. Then, with the tail folded back, we'll attach the 3 remaining tabs to the rectangle hole of the torso. Here, you can start to see how this is coming together. Now comes in the skirt top. Applying glue to the triangle dot sides, we'll press this onto all those overlapping triangles of the skirt. Results are best when you line up the edge of the top to the edge of the off-white color of the spikes. Lastly, we'll glue the torso to the top of the skirt. Just make sure all of your glue tabs are tucked inward, with the glue on the graphic side. And again, using the blade of your stickers or any stick-like object, press them down firmly onto the skirt top. Congrats! You've put together the most complicated pieces of the puzzle. Now we'll attach our legs to the bottom. The figure stands best when the legs are placed evenly apart from each other. You can see that I left the opening of the skirt top, so you should be able to put your finger on the inside to help firmly press the legs into place. Arms! You can place them at any angle you like, just attaching the flat plane of the hollow side to the torso. Finally, the head. You can either place these side hair strands now or after the hair is attached to see how it looks. I'll be attaching one now and one at the end. These pieces you can curl or style any way you like, really. I like curling them inward to help frame Mortis's face. Results look best when you place the strand in line or higher than this first outward corner of the head. Now, we're going to press this white square of the hair directly onto the matching white square of the top of the head. Quick little ear fix since I noticed it was detaching. Now with the hair in place, we'll close up the last seams of her hair, attaching them to the back edges of her head. From here you can style Mortis however you like. I'm going for alternating the curl direction of each of these strands. Now to finish her style, we'll take this last hair tab and fold it under the base of her neck. Now that I can see how her hair looks, I can attach her last hair strand just how I like it, but it is a little hard gluing it into place. We've made it to the final step. We'll apply glue to the remaining torso tabs, and knowing this long head tab is at the bottom of her head, we'll center it best we can so she's balanced when she stands up. A little tricky, but again using the blade of our scissors we can help push these tabs together. The final glue tab will attach to the back of her head using the same tricky trick. I'm folding the neck tab here to help her head sit better on her body. Congratulations, you've made yourself a little Mortis! I really hope you enjoyed this craft and that it wasn't too difficult. My favorite thing about this Mortis is her springiness. Worm for scale. If you like this and want to see what I make next, please follow me on my socials, and I'm always accepting tips on Ko-fi. Let me know in the comments if you want to see how this craft was designed. This craft was definitely a challenge. It took a lot longer than I anticipated, and it was a whole new process for me, really. But I'm so happy I was able to pull it off in the end. Thank you for watching, and happy crafting!